guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be setting up automation for our mob duplicator. So I hope you guys are ready. So I hope you guys enjoyed that live stream. Of course, there are going to be several more live streams following the one that I just posted that you guys would have watched yesterday. But today we're hopping into another actual recording, and I wanted to get some automation done. So what we did during the live stream was I just basically set up these garden cloches and got some resources in there. I still have more to do, so there'll be another live stream where I set up even more garden cloches. Today, however, I want to at least show you guys some simple automation that I want to get set up for getting a mob farm up and running. So we kind of had this idea that we come up with during the live stream of potentially using bottles of enchanting. As you can see, we can generate bottles of enchanting with our enchantment or our experience essence to potentially fill and keep a mob farm running, and we can change that mob farm at will, right? So we can farm whatever we want so long as we have enough experience. Now, to get that experience, I do need a few things. Blaze is going to be some of it, so that was something I definitely wanted to get with some blaze. So we farmed out a couple of blazes last live stream. But what I have set up here is some auto crafting. So I already have made some crafting. I have the experience essence being turned into experience droplets. Then I have some glass being turned into bottles. I don't have glass fully automated yet, so that is going to be our only resource that is kind of like difficult. But we will definitely get that set up and get it fully automated for sure. Because it is something we're definitely going to need. And then we have experience droplets to glass bottles mixed with mix those two together, and you get the bottles of enchanting. All of those put together should get us what I need. So a proof of concept here is I have a chest, right? Let's just say this is an inner chest, or we technically don't even need an inner chest. We can do it right here. We have this going into whatever we want it to go into with an exporter. We throw the exporter, connect the exporter to our system here. And let's just say this is the dispenser that's dispensing our experience, and then we have a system that's collecting it. We need to set up auto crafting so that way it automatically generates bottles of enchanting for us. How do we do that? Well, you use a crafting upgrade, and then you basically just specify that you want a bottle of enchanting to go into here. Now, because I don't have any glass, if I put 3 glass in here, this will then begin to craft bottles of enchanting for me because it has enough resources. So what it's going to do is going to generate 3 bottles of enchanting for the amount of glass that I was able to put in. So what this does is this basically automatically calls and it triggers the crafting, the auto crafting for this recipe. This is awesome for setting up automation. So like if you want a chest that has a particular amount of items in it, bam, this is the way to go. And this is what I want to use. Now we need to set up the system though that is going to collect the experience and put it in some sort of storage unit that can hold that much experience. So I want to try and set up this dispenser to face upwards, like so. And I want to try and capture this. I actually might need to bring this out just one more, a smidge more. There we go. And go ahead and get my exporter ready to go. So we'll place that here. And then the dispenser, I want it facing upwards if I can, like where it just shoots it straight up in the air. Perfect. For this, we'll also get some glass because I want glass to kind of go around this just to sort of encapsulate it so experience doesn't leak out and we grab it by accident or whatever. And then I need a hopper. So this hopper is really nice and is going to be very useful for this particular application. However, I just need the couple of resources. Ender pearls. Of course, I have to go grab some more ender pearls. I'll be right back. So with this particular absorption hopper, we should be able to lead this into what is called a black hole unit or black hole fluid unit, which is pretty much going to store near infinite amount of experience. Now, I don't know if this is going to work with this directly on top. The best way to test this is just to use a lever. And just to try it out right now, we're going to have a timer that is going to be on here. But let's see, lever, and then we need bottles of enchanting, just at least one. And we can go ahead and slap that lever on here and see. Okay, so it does pull out. However, it did not collect any. So I might need to bring this up. It went straight to me, which I don't want it to do. So what'll probably happen is we just take this up one level, then place it. Then we'll have this open. Oh, of course that breaks that. Let's see. We need this open. There we go. And then this will be surrounded. And then on the bottom here, we're going to specify, okay, hey, no item should be going up, but what should be going up is going to be the, let's see, up is going to be the fluid. That's all I want to collect here is liquid experience. And I need to make sure that the area, the bounds, okay, is selecting the right area, which it is. Okay. And then on top of that, we'll put the black hole unit. Now, this should store experience. Once we have some in there. Wait, going to me? Is it going to me? It's going to me because of the magnet. There we go. And I'm out. Let's throw some glass in here. And I'll craft up some. Oh my gosh. There we go. That should get us bottles of enchanting. Let's try this one more time. All right, and that should now hold experience. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, here's the thing. Do I want it collecting experience, or do I want it, instead of going directly into experience, I probably want it going directly to its counterpart. I think to get that, though, I'm probably going to need at least a bucket's worth. There is a container that I can make. Let's see. Industrial Foregoing has the converter for this, which is going to be the fluid transposer or something like that. Fluid dictionary converter. So this guy. This basically is going to say, hey, accept experience, switch it over to essence. So I want that to be what happens here. So I want it to accept from the bottom. The input, we're going to say only on the down, and the output is going to be only on the up. Like that. And then we'll say, okay, experience, convert that to essence bucket. Perfect. And then we need to transfer that into the black hole unit, which I think just went inside here because that probably picked it up. We need to clear it out by dropping it in here. Perfect. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. This is all like the stuff that it's just automation, stuff that you need to kind of think about. And this probably isn't the best way to go about this, but it is going to hopefully work. And then we should be able to just send bottles of experience directly into here via the crafting setup and call it good. Like, this should be able to power our mob farm. That's the ultimate goal of today's video. So we should be able to send this up like so with an extraction cable, and then send that into the black hole unit, and then send that into an ender tank. Oh man. All right, so we could say up and down, and this is going to go into an ender tank. Right. Okay. So hopefully this will work. I know it's ugly and could probably be done better with more ender tanks, but let's just use this proof of concept. We can make it any size. Like, we could turn this on its side if we wanted to, but I have it going up for right now just to test it out. We need bottles of enchanting, so I'm going to need some glass. Craft up the bottles of enchanting, and just make sure that there's essence actively going inside there. We should be able to craft multiples of these. There we go. All right, so throw this in here. And then lever. Okay, the experience got picked up. And we should have a tiny, probably so small we can't even see it in there, amount. Unless this is not able to push that fluid. No, it is, but it's just such a tiny amount going in here. I think that's what I'm seeing. Because it should be getting converted into the essence. Okay. I think I just need a few more bottles of enchanting. Do I have bottles? Did I have bottles here. Let's grab this. And then let's see this. I mean, because this might be just really slow and just not even practical. Anything? I can't tell. You know, and it also might be getting stored in the pipe. Like these might not be transferring the fluid over as well. Can this be turned? Bottom input, top output, like that. I think this should be working. I might try to break a couple of steps and just do a little bit of a testing test. So after doing a little bit of testing, all I had to do was replace these and place it back down. And then this finally got situated the way it needed to be done. And it does look like it's filling up. So this is increasing. And so what will happen is after this is filled, this buffer should then fill up. And all I got to do now is actually set this up properly. So that way it will auto craft. So long as we have glass. So let's make sure to get some glass in there. And that should maintain and continue to craft bottles of Enchanting. And it should export them into here. Actually, I have it backwards, don't I? Probably need to put this in right. Make sure that didn't get... Yeah, it got sucked in there. Yeah, I probably need to break this and place this on the right side. There we go. Now it'll work and should be able to craft into that inventory. We'll place this here and that there. And then we should see bottles of Enchanting slowly getting put back in. And that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Okay. Perfect. Now, onto the mob farm and to get it set up. So let's see. This is about full. So we should start to see this. I see it receiving a fluid. There we go. And yes, now it is starting to fill the buffer. And that's what we want. And wow, it's crazy when you really see how much a single bottle of Enchanting actually is. It's actually quite impressive. So that's good to see. That's definitely good to see. Hopefully I can, yeah, it pulls the experience when I have the magnet on. I just need to get this item so I don't go in there. Thank you, and then I shut the magnet off. Woo! All right, let's get the mob farm set up. So setting this mob farm up should actually be pretty easy now. Only thing I need to do is I need to set this 2 blocks down. So 2 blocks down right here. That should fit perfect. That's going to be just about the same distance as a normal mob farm. However, I do need to get an upgrade on here. Let's see. Industrial range upgrade. One of these should work. This is a 2 and 5. I think the 2 is probably going to be the better option. So we'll throw that on there. Let's see, what's our range? That's plenty. That range looks plenty. So long as it's not spawning things above. Okay, it's not. That should work. Right? I think I actually might drop this down just one more. Just to put it roughly where I want it. So let's grab some cobble. Let's drop this down just a couple more to kind of get it a little bit better situation here. Now let's test. Okay, so that's much better. That's going to spawn it right there. Okay, so this needs power and it's also going to need that essence. So for power, I'm just going to, you know, give it some power with this bad boy with another power cell. That should be pretty simple. Let's make sure it's off for right now. And as far as fluid goes, I'm going to also send it some fluid. Now, this has already generated this. I'm actually going to take this and empty it into our other tank. And I have my output going to another ender tank. So this actually generates fluid essence itself and it will go into our ender tank to hopefully just continue to build up a buffer over time. That's kind of what I want to do. And I'm probably going to end up switching this ender tank out for a separate ender tank so that way it goes directly into our buffer instead of just wasting it, because it'll eventually just drop experience on the ground, which I don't want. That's probably a good idea. I'm actually going to do that right after this. So to get this set up, the only thing I need to do is I think I'm just going to place this directly on the back of this, I think. That should probably work. So right here, and then place the tank. Even though this tank emits light, but I don't think that 100% matters. I don't know if that's going to matter, it emitting light or not. That could pose a problem. But this does use power to generate it, so I don't know how much of an issue that's going to be. We're going to find out and see if it works. I think it just spawns them regardless of the light level. However, I do have this lever, so this is going to make this redstone controlled. This thing is redstone controlled on its own. So what I can do is I can bind this. So it's safe, so now I can use this to automatically turn this on or off. Look at that. So on and off. You gotta love it. This is a wireless lever remote. And then, of course, I can name it to whatever I want to say. Okay, mob duplicator or whatever. All right, so let's get the fluid to it. Or throw our fluid. Okay. Can I pick you up? There we go. I just need to hook this in. Like so. And that has fluid essence. Now all we need is power. And we're ready to rock and roll. So as far as hooking into this, all we got to do is power this, drop that in there, set that to out. Now that has some power. And what I want to do is make sure this is on. Mob crusher is on, ready to go. And I do have a mob that is trapped. I have a player mob. So the ones that are skinned as players, I imprisoned one. And the funny thing is this isn't just any player. This is CPW. So we ended up finding CPW. So unfortunately, CPW is going to be the one that's duplicated. If you don't know who CPW is, you can thank him for Forge, the developer of Forge, or one of the developers of Forge. So let's go ahead and throw CPW in here. And as you can see, looked like he spawned. Looks like he is spawning and being just completely annihilated. And what this should hopefully generate is death compasses. This is exactly what I'm needing, is death compasses. It doesn't look like it's just spawning in a player in general. It doesn't look like CPW, which is still funny. Now they all look like direwolves. But this is the ultimate goal for this, is to get death compasses, because that is actually one of the trials and tribulations that we are going through in order to get this. As you can see, we need 10,000 death compasses, and so this is the best way to get them. And so we just kind of need to let them generate. That's honestly all we can do. All we can do here. So as far as getting this fully set up, all we got to do is automate some sand, and we could generate sand like so. I do have all the stuff, so this will generate sand from that crafting recipe. And all I got to do is have somewhere to craft it, which is going to be the same place we have it set up here. And to get that to craft, we need an exporter that's going to export out of our system. And that exporter is going to need sand. So all I got to do is set it to sand, apply my crafting upgrade, and say sand. You're going to go in here, specify this to input and that to output on the sides. And that should hopefully get us what we need. This is the exporter, and then this will be the importer. So as soon as that's connected, hopefully this will work. We have power going to it. This smelts sand, right? Oh, it doesn't. Wait, what? Sand. Can it... Crusher. Can sand only be done inside of... No. Glass. Can it only be made inside of the arc furnace? It can only be made inside the arc furnace. Okay. Well, that changes things a little bit. That is going to need a bit more. That's going to require just ender chests, I guess, to send it over there and get it back. Okay. So in using ender chests, all I have to do is now I have the exporter set up here. I could probably hide this a little bit easier now and just kind of have it placed in here. But the exporter can go here. And we can still define sand and put the crafting upgrade. That is going to craft out sand and place that in there slowly but surely, but it will go. And then we can close this up. I could facade that. We're going to kind of see that a little later on. This can also probably be covered up since I already have the cables lined out. I'll get this all decorated and looking nice once we get sort of the mechanics in place. But for the most part, we are already generating a lot of stuff. As far as paper clips go, we still have tons of paper clips. It is super laggy over here, but that will eventually change as well. Here's all my glass that I've slowly been generating. Let's go ahead and close that. This needs to be replaced with our red output. I know you're probably like, why aren't you using that? But this is going to be our actual output. And then, of course, these are going to be being swapped out soon. And then I need this chest to go into here, basically. Yellow is going to be anything that needs to be smelted. So it needs to go into the arc furnace. So, and hopefully it's not directional. Like, hopefully that doesn't put stuff in this. We're going to find out. Extract. Let's just see. I don't think it... Oh, it does. Okay, so that defines that side. That's not what I want. So, yeah, we're just going to have yellow chest be anything that needs to go into this. And I guess we could set up like a orange color maybe for the extra stuff. I don't know. This would allow for automation later on down the road. And the only reason it's taking so long is because we're floating. There we go. So yeah, it's going to be time for this to go. Old stuff out, new stuff in. Of course, we can hook that in still. So that way this still directly goes into it. And there we go. So that is going to throw that in. We can get this out. And then this is where everything's going to go. So that should allow for pretty much everything to start working and work automatically. So this is going to take all of the stuff that we're generating here, which is going to be sand, convert that into glass, deposit the glass here, and we should end up with glass here generating this, which should in turn keep our mob farm running. Ultimate goal. That's exactly what today's episode was all about. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed so far. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to one of my Patreons, and that is going to go to Floor Kokax. Thank you so much for your amazing support over on the Patreon. I really do appreciate you guys. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon yourself, of course, check the description below. And by the way, be sure to join the Discord and also join the live streams because we are live streaming this mod pack as of right now. So if you want to get a pet, just like the ones you see around me, if you see any named animals and stuff like that, that can all be done via the live stream. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Of course, if you did, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you guys in the next episode or live stream, and as always, thanks for watching.